Hey, thanks for checking out the video. In this one, we're going to be talking about these two lights right here, the Olight Warrior Mini 2 and the Sofirn SC31 Pro. Both of these are great lights in my opinion, and they both use 18650 batteries. The purpose of this video is just going to be to help a potential or a would-be buyer decide between the two lights. If you're in the market for a light like this, I'm going to give you my thoughts on each of these lights. Spoiler alert, I actually think they're both great values, and it's going to depend a little bit on your desired use case, which one I'd recommend you go for. But yeah, anyway, these two lights, they're different enough and similar enough to each other that I figured I'd make a video with them side by side, just to kind of get some information, compare and contrast. And we'll also take them outside to look at the beam pattern, beam shots of these lights as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, and I guess we should start with the similarities first. So like I said before, these both use 18650 batteries, very large size batteries, good capacity for a flashlight in my opinion. And they're both IPX8 waterproof. They both got lockout feature. They both are drop safe to 1 meter. So a lot of great positives with both of these lights, and the similarities go on from there, but I'll leave it at that for now. In the way of differences, first thing I'll mention is going to be warranty. The Olight Warrior Mini 2's got a 5-year warranty from Olight, and that is an amazing amount. That's a long warranty. Should something go wrong with the light, it's good to know you can just contact Olight and get that sorted out for 5 years. That's pretty incredible. I was looking for the length of the warranty on the Sofirn SC31 Pro, and it was actually surprisingly hard to find. In fact, I don't know that I actually found it. The manual you get does mention the warranty in several places. It just doesn't mention what the amount of time is or how long the warranty goes for. Online, I looked around a little bit and just got more confused. I saw some things that were like within the first 90 days of purchase, but I couldn't tell if that was just the seller's warranty. I found warranty lengths of 1 year and 2 years as well. So I'm sure someone in the comments can help shed light on that. But basically, in any case, the Olight Warrior Mini 2 does have a better warranty by a few years, it seems, at minimum. Next main difference between the lights is going to be the existence and absence of a tail switch. You've got a tail switch with the Warrior Mini 2 and not on the Sofirn SC31 Pro. The Warrior Mini 2 also has a magnetic tail, so if you like to use that feature, that's something to consider. Sofirn does sell those as an add-on, a magnetic tail cap. So if you're interested in doing that to the Sofirn SC31 Pro, it's an option as well. They also sell diffusers and things of that nature. But yeah, moving on from there, you also get a proximity sensor on the Warrior Mini 2. It's that little black bit in the lens there. So yeah, if the light's on turbo or high and you approach something, it'll detect that and then drop the output down. So in theory, you don't burn a hole through your pocket or a bag or anything like that. Pretty neat. No sensor on the Sofirn SC31 Pro, and that could be a pro or a con. I know some people are annoyed by the sensor, some people love it. I think it's a great safety feature. I'm not going to disable it. I know people out there who do disable it if you want to. I think that's an option, but I'm leaving mine intact. Anyway, next up is the clips. Got a 2-way or bi-directional pocket clip on the Warrior Mini 2. And then you can also you can also take the clip off from this head area and pop it onto the base here, the tail end. So if you want to carry bezel down or carry it a little deeper in the pocket, that's an option for you. With the Sofirn SC31 Pro, initially it doesn't look like you've got too many options. It just looks like you got what you got. It's not a 2-way pocket clip. But you actually can switch the direction of this if you want, because this middle tube here, if you want the clip to face the opposite direction, you could just unscrew the tail end and the head, flip that tube around, and then all of a sudden put a light back together and you got the clip going the opposite direction. So you still have an option that way with the SC31 Pro. All right, moving on from here, I want to talk about the moon modes. This is something that I can show better here than outside, because moon mode at distance isn't very helpful. But with the Sofirn SC31 Pro, you've got a 3 lumen Moonlight Mode. So this is the lowest output that this light can generate, is 3 lumens right here. Let's compare that with the 1 lumen Moonlight Mode of the Warrior Mini 2. So try to show this here. I'm gonna spread them out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. And when it comes to Moonlight modes, my personal preference is actually for less output. Like if you're going to bed after your spouse and you don't want to bump around in the dark, find your way to bed, a low amount of output is better in that situation. Or if you're checking on a child or something that's sleeping, I like to have the lowest output possible. So 3 lumens is a little bit much on a moon mode for me, but not a deal breaker. Wanted to point that out. Also, charging methods are different. You got USB-C here with the SC31 Pro. Just pop this tab open and bam, charging ports right there. I like USB-C recharging a lot. It's pretty quick. I like that connection type. You've got the proprietary magnetic charging cable included with the Warrior Mini 2. The SC31 Pro does come with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, by the way. I didn't mention that. Both lights also come with a lanyard, and just go through that real quick. This one came with the Sofirn SC31 Pro. Pretty basic, just a loop and another smaller loop here. And I did not use this for very long at all, and it's begun to fray already. The same can be said of the Warrior Mini 2's lanyard. Didn't use it for long and it's fraying, so I took them off. I don't really use them anyway. I thought I'd try it out, but yeah, I don't know if there's a fix for that, but in the way of lanyards, I guess I'll just say you've got a rubber lanyard here from Olight with a cinch, and it does have some retention, which I like. So yeah, I think better lanyard on the Warrior Mini 2, but like I said, both of them seem to have an issue with this fraying. I think that's probably just what you get with lanyards in general. Other than that, I guess I should mention with Sofirn, you do get a couple of these O-rings to replace on the light to preserve your waterproofing. And with the Warrior Mini 2, you also get this collar and circular carabiner clip here. So if you want to carry that on the light, you can do that, or clip this to a bag or whatever you like. You can do that as well. So other than that, what haven't we talked about? Okay, we talked about accessories. Okay, styling and machining. I won't spend too much time on this. With Olight, it's pretty much exceptional. I'm a big fan of all the different styles and the finishes you can get, different materials and so on. And they just seem to put a lot of work into this. This texture is a little bit more grippy, a little more aggressive than this. I don't know if you call this just checkered or what you'd call that, but it's a little more shallow. It's still nice with the Sofirn. The Sofirn SC31 Pros all come in aluminum, and there's different anodization colors that you can choose from. Aluminum is my favorite material for flashlights, so it doesn't bother me that I can't get any different material. But yeah, worth mentioning. And then let's see, price. Okay, this is the big one. Probably should have started with this. At the time of recording, I just tried to find a brand new model of these lights in any color for as little as I could on any website. And I didn't look forever, but I did check multiple websites. The cheapest I could find a brand new Warrior Mini 2 from Olight right now, there's no sale going on Olight's website, at the time of recording was $80, like $79.99. So yeah, pretty pricey for a flashlight. I do think you get what you pay for, but compared to $30, under $30 with the Sofirn SC31 Pro, I was able to find this light with a battery included for under 30 bucks on Temu and AliExpress. So we're talking a significant price difference here, less than half. So just keep that in mind as we continue to talk about these lights. With all that said, let's finally get these things outside, compare some beam shots, see how they look at a little bit of distance. All right, let's take a look at some beam shots. Starting with the Warrior Mini 2 here, it's in its moon mode. I'm gonna bring it on to its low setting. So there's low. Medium. and high. And turbo. 1750 lumens here. All right, next let's grab the SC31 Pro. It's currently in its moon mode as well. So we'll step it up to low. Medium. High. And turbo. So yeah, the SC31 Pro really kicking out a ton of light. Let's do a turbo mode comparison real quick. So this is supposed to be 2000 lumens from the SC31 Pro and 1750 from the Warrior Mini 2. Here's that SC31 Pro again. And let's bring out the Warrior Mini 2. All right, so as you can see, really impressive output from both of these lights. I'll say that to my eye, every single setting coming from the Sofirn SC31 Pro was brighter than the corresponding setting of the Warrior Mini 2. So in other words, all the way from Moonlight up to Turbo, when you compare those modes side by side, the Sofirn SC31 Pro appeared just a little bit brighter in each of those over the Olight Warrior Mini 2 to my eye. Another difference I noticed, it's a little subtle, but the beam patterns are very close together, very close to one another. But the Sofirn SC31 Pro, the hotspot, the outer rim of the hotspot is a bit fuzzier and it kind of tapers off into the spill. Whereas the hotspot of the Warrior Mini 2 is nice, crisp. It's a nice crisp circle. And then you've got a secondary layer of spill out from there. So yeah, that's just a little difference I noticed. But yeah, pretty happy with both of these lights. So let me get into my final thoughts and opinions about the value proposition you get with both of these lights. All right, this is it, the conclusion of the video. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, really appreciate it. Let's talk about the value proposition of these two lights. And like I said before in the intro, I think both are a great value, both are a good buy. It just depends on the use case you need these lights for. That's kind of the final thing I want to talk about. So the UI or user interface is kind of tied into this. With the Warrior Mini 2, you've got kind of three main modes, I'd call them, low, medium, and high. You've also got the moon mode and the turbo mode, and then triple clicking gets you to the strobe mode. You can also configure strobe to come on with a full press with the tail cap and turbo to come on with a half press if you want to change the UI. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but it's a possibility for you. Otherwise, from the factory, a half press gets you into medium and a full press gets you into turbo. Yeah, just to sum up my thoughts on the Warrior Mini 2's UI, I like it. It's just enough. It provides enough options, but not too many so as to overwhelm somebody like me. So yeah, I like it. And the Sofirn SC31 Pro comes in a similar UI setup. There's not too much going on. I have it set up in a stepped UI at the moment, so it actually will ramp up and down in steps similar to the Warrior Mini 2. You can also set this to work that it gradually ramps up and down instead. I always drop lights on camera. So yeah, and where things get a little different is with this Sofirn SC31 Pro, that word Pro at the end there, that's the one you gotta watch out for, because this has an Android 2.0 UI and it comes in the simple configuration. Nice and easy. This explains everything. But if you want to nerd out, just turn the page a couple times and you will be staring at this diagram. Gives me a headache. I'm too intimidated to try it, but I know there's some cool ways you can set this light up and program it. So if you're into that sort of thing, I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, back to use case. The Olight Warrior Mini 2 is marketed as a tactical style EDC light because you do have a tail switch and crenulated bezel, and kind of make this more of a tactical style EDC light. So if that's what you're in the market for, I would say save up for this light over the Sofirn SC31 Pro. But if you just need a light around the house, to walk your dog, do things around the house, go camping, I would not feel bad about going for the Sofirn SC31 Pro at all. Phenomenal light, phenomenal value. Like I said, lots of ways to set it up. And as you saw outside, amazing output. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my thoughts on these lights. They're both outstanding. Really like both of them. I bought both of these with my own cash, just in case anyone's wondering. So I'm not trying to be biased in any direction or the other. But like I said, really appreciate you watching. Thanks for taking the time. I hope you have a great day. God bless you and take care.